Yo, so Mr. Kyrie Irving has made his decision on where he wants to go in the offseason. And the team that he surprisingly chose, well, I shouldn't say surprisingly. I really thought that he was going to join the Brooklyn Nets, but I didn't really think, he was going to do it with Durant. I think that Kyrie wants to be a leader so bad that, he wouldn't want another superstar to play alongside him. But I guess that he no longer cares because Durant's there, and I don't really think that Durant is better than Kyrie anymore. He tore his ACL. As you can see in NBA history, every player that's torn his ACL does not come back quite the same. So, Max Kellerman and Steve are on the show, and they're going to talk about what they think Kyrie is going to do this season, and I'm going to come in here and there.
Are you confident the Nets will not see, we're going to call him problem?
No, I'm not confident about that. Let me be very clear. I believe Kyrie is going to kill it in Brooklyn. I've said on this show many times at this point, maybe the most skillful player who ever lived. And he's from the area and he's got the situation.
Well, he's up there. Would I call Kyrie the most skilled player of all time? Right now, no. But if he can win a couple championships by himself, as he's doing right now, I mean, he's really not by himself. He has KD, but if he can win a championship, then yeah, I'll be ready to call him the most skilled player of all time because he literally has every move on the offensive end that you could ask for from a point guard. I mean, what can't he do aside from dunks and defense? So, yeah, the most skilled, I would probably call Kyrie the most skilled player of all time. I mean, of course, you have Jordan, Kobe, Wilt, all those guys, but Kyrie, he really has that package where he can average 30 a game. Not many two players in the NBA have a package that allows them to average 30 a game. We all know LeBron has it, Durant has it, Curry has it. Who else? I don't know if Damian Lillard has it. Who else? Skipping my mind. Devin Booker has it. A lot of players have it. Kyrie's certainly one of them. And I expect Kyrie to put on a show this season. Do I think he's going to win MVP? Most likely. Because literally this team, the environment on it is built just for him. He no longer has guys that's 21, 22 years old that just want to jack up long two-pointers. He's on the team where everyone is going to be on the same page with him because everyone is around his age. And that's going to be to win championships.
Situation he wants, he's going to put on a show you don't want to miss at Barclays Center 41 times during the regular season, and he's going to be killing it in the playoffs. But I can't sit here and say I'm confident problem Kyrie won't show up. He has not shown in the past consistently over real length of time that he can be just the lunch pail guy who doesn't ever cause a problem. When you sit down for a national interview to try to...
Well, you can't really blame, Kyrie's time in Boston on Kyrie. As I've stated before, the first year in Boston for Kyrie was pretty easy because the players around him that were surrounding him were in awe of him. All right? They were in awe of him. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they were in awe of him. They thought that, he was good. But the thing about young talent is that when it comes, you have to put their head on straight. I think Kyrie was a little bit too friendly with them the first season. And so they took Kyrie's kindness for a weakness. So the next season, they didn't really care what happened to the team. I think that a lot of those players wanted to be traded. Jason Tatum wanted to be traded. Jaylen Brown wanted to be traded. And I would see the NBA being very petty because the NBA does not like Kyrie. I mean, they love Kyrie, but they don't like him. Because he left LeBron, and he damaged LeBron's legacy. Everyone in the NBA thinks that LeBron, is this great player, and everyone wants to play with him. But Kyrie leaving LeBron has put a lot on his name.
problems in the locker room, you're actually doing the opposite. Now, maybe he's learned from all these things, right? I hope he has. And I think he'll kill it. But I can't sit here honestly, like you put me on a lie detector test, be like, you confident you're not going to see problem, Kyrie? I can't be confident in that, Stephen A, because past is prologue. He hasn't shown that yet. I hope he can, but I can't say I'm confident.
I'm very confident. I'm not worried about Kyrie one bit because this is the first time that
I agree. I'm not worried about Kyrie at all. You know, Kyrie was a leader in Cleveland before LeBron got there. All right, they won something like, 35 games? They were like the 9th seed, 10th seed before LeBron came back. They were going to make the playoffs the next year, and who knows what they would have done if LeBron James wouldn't have joined them. I mean, who knows what kind of season Kyrie would have had? Who knows what LeBron joining Kyrie did to Kyrie's legacy? I mean, who knows if LeBron never joins Kyrie and he joins the West when he left the Miami Heat? We might be talking about Kyrie being one of the greatest point guards of all time. I mean, he's honestly the greatest point guard the greatest scoring point guard that I've ever seen. I mean, his diversity of moves, his handle, the way he can finish. He's a great shooter, underrated shooter. Shoots about 40% from three every year, and he's very proficient. He dangles around 50% every year.
Kyrie had a choice. It's his decision. He was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He had to force his way out, but he didn't pick Boston. Dan Gilbert and the Cleveland Cavaliers chose Boston. And then when he was in Boston for the last 2 seasons, he dealt with what he dealt with. This is the first time in his life, in his professional career, he's been free, making a decision that was all his choice. And I remember I asked a couple of sources last night, why not the Lakers, especially if you got a chance to be there, because Kawhi's not going there. And I was told he wants to be near his family and loved ones.
Yeah, I didn't really see Kyrie joining the Lakers. I mean, why would you leave LeBron and then run back to him? I think Kyrie knows what that's going to say about him. You know, and I don't think Kyrie, really wanted to hear all that. Oh, you left LeBron, you found out you couldn't win without him, so you joined him again. I mean, come on, that's just so old and hackneyed.
Matters. And when you look at Kevin Durant, what could be the only reason? I mean, think about this. You lose out on $60 million. You're automatically an elite championship contender, still arguably the favorite if Kevin Durant is in Golden State and regains his health. Okay, you got championships, you've got money, you've got great teammates in Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, or whatever, but you left. Why? Because something was missing.
Because he knew that the championships in Golden State really held no weight because all the talent that surrounded him and the fact that he lost to that team and joined them the very next season. I mean, if he would have went to the Portland Trailblazers then and did the same thing, then he's in the top 10 greatest players of all time. In Stephen Curry's second season, heading into the playoffs, they had already put him above Isaiah Thomas. I'm talking about the old Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons in regard of greatest point guards of all time. They already put him ahead of Isaiah Thomas. So if Durant leaves OKC, and goes to the Portland Trailblazers, then yeah, I mean, his championships, if he would have won them, just like he won these, in dominant fashion, winning Finals MVP, averaging 30 a game, he wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been quite as bad. But since he left and went to the team that beat him, really no one has respect for him for that.
And, they operated as a unit. We all know the Golden State Warriors are a first-class organization, but Kevin Durant marched to his own beat, his own tune. Wasn't about not getting along with anybody or anything like that, but he's a different beast. But clearly very, very close to Kyrie. When the New York Knicks had approached Kevin Durant's team, and they talked about, we want you that bad. Who do you want with you? Okay, and they brought up Kemba Walker in the event that Kyrie Irving went to Brooklyn. And Kemba Walker as a security blanket because we know what Kemba Walker brings to the table.
I don't really know what Kemba Walker brings to the table. I don't know why they tried to replace him with Kyrie. If anything, I would have kept Rozier, gave him a lot of minutes, probably 36, 35 minutes a game, just to see what he can do. But I don't really see why they brought Kemba Walker to the Boston Celtics. I mean, what are they trying to say? I mean, Kemba Walker is basically a homeless version of Kyrie. He does everything that Kyrie does, but worse. I mean, and if to people that think that he's going to be a better leader in Boston, what experience does he have? He's never been out of the first round of the playoffs. Kyrie has been to the finals 3 times. You know, I mean, Kemba Walker he doesn't have anything that Kyrie had. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't bring nearly as much to the table as Kyrie would. Now, playing in the Brad Stevens system, I expect Kemba Walker to have a great season. I expect him to be very proficient, but I don't really see the Boston Celtics going anywhere because all you did was replace Kyrie with the worst player, with a player that's not as good as him. So we'll see.
Did KD say? Nope, no can do. He was only interested in playing with one dude, and that was Kyrie Irving, because they're tight. And so when you look at it from that perspective, we can look at the young guys, we can look at the...
Not only are they tight, but people don't really see Kyrie better than Steph Curry. I mean, I see him better than Steph Curry, but people don't really see him better than Steph Curry. It's a debate whether Durant is better than Curry. You know, before Durant went there, Curry had already led that team to a finals and won. You know, and made Durant blow a 3-1. So it's really hard to say that Durant is better than Curry. If when Durant joined Brooklyn, there's no debate. You know, if he would have been healthy, that he would have been better than Kyrie. But I don't really know how he's gonna come back. You know, when he comes back, I expect him to be about a 22 point per game guy. You know, I don't think they would give him a lot of minutes. I think they're gonna bring him back on the trash team. Probably bring him back against the Magic or something late in the season, just to see what he can do. And we'll find out. This season will be a very interesting season. I just found out that the Lakers are starting LeBron at point guard. I don't know why they did that. You really think LeBron is gonna chase all those point guards around behind screens on defense? I mean, he's 35 and you're gonna place him at point guard. You know, it's going to put a lot of wear and tear on his tires, but I don't think they're going to keep him at point guard for the rest of the season. But we'll see. Very interesting season coming up.
Talent the Brooklyn Nets have, but clearly this franchise has been handed to KD and Kyrie. So you're the leader of the franchise, A, and B, you're playing with somebody who's your boy. Not that you don't have a good relationship with LeBron now, but the relationship with LeBron now is arguably better than the relationship was when LeBron first returned to Cleveland. And y'all have to cultivate the relationship. There's more of a respect here. You miss each other, etc., etc. Him and KD have been friends for years. They get along tremendously well. They trust one another. Obviously, they're going to be the face of the franchise. And I think those things ensure that Kyrie will not be a problem at all for the Brooklyn Nets.
I hope you're right. Can I take a pause from the argument for a second,
Sure.
from the debate for a second, to just say this about Kyrie? I think he's actually the star here. KD, we have to see how he responds. You heard Chuck say, yeah, Dominique came back, but he wasn't the human highlight reel anymore. No one's ever really come back committed 100%.
I don't really think KD is going to come back 100%, but I don't think he's going to be much worse than he was. You know, like KD, he doesn't have a lot of muscle on his body, so the ACL tear, you know, really, you know, I don't think it really did that much to him because he really never had a lot of weight to carry around in the first place. So we'll see.
Kyrie, people have to understand, Brooklyn has a team. 7 years ago, the first time Brooklyn had a Major League basketball team. First Major League franchise in Brooklyn since the Dodgers left, right? You know, what's New York known for in terms of basketball, Stephen A? What's New York known for? Handles. Street ball handles is what the city is known for, right? Who has the best handles who ever lived? I'm going to argue it's Kyrie Irving. I think it's actually pretty clear it's Kyrie Irving. Best handles of all time.
Yeah, you've always said that.
From the area, playing in Brooklyn. The problem with New York ball is it's all handles and no one shoots. Kyrie can shoot the lights out. Kyrie is one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Yeah, very underrated shooter. Very underrated. I think he's a better shooter than Dame. Of course, Dame can make long threes, but he doesn't make them at a proficient level. Yeah, he's up there. Kyrie is a very underrated shooter. He can really do everything.
Shooters in the NBA.
But see, the only reason I challenge you on that is because as somewhat of a basketball historian, what I would ask you to do is appreciate those who paved the way for the guy to come up. Sham God.
Oh, I was going to bring up the point, but stay right there.
Kenny Anderson.
Wait, hold on.
I mean, come on now.
Hold on. I'm glad.
Dwayne Pearl Washington.
See what you just did? You interrupted and stole my thunder. I wanted to bring up God, Sham God, okay?
I mean, when we're talking about a professional level, I mean, a lot of those guys just wouldn't stand a chance against Kyrie Irving if Kyrie Irving ever decided to play those guys 1-on-1. I mean, they just don't.
God Shamgod and guys like him had absurd handles. When it was street ball game on the NBA, it didn't translate. Kyrie has translated those level handles to championship level on the NBA.
He's a better shot maker.
He's unbelievable. So to have that in New York, my argument is, or my point is, I think he's actually the star of the show in Brooklyn. I think it's Kyrie's team and Kyrie's town now, even more than KD. Although KD can do amazing things if he wins a championship here, to me the headline is Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn, Stephen A.
I mean,
Listen,
really, Kyrie is in a. I mean, KD is in a tough spot because if he wins, I mean, I don't really think he's gonna win Finals MVP if the Nets do win at Finals, because I mean, he's not gonna be the same guy that he once was. I think that if the Brooklyn Nets win an NBA championship, Kyrie is gonna be the Finals MVP, no doubt about it. You know, that ACL tear, it really just altered KD's career, just like that. I mean, before his ACL tear, he was projected to be, one of the top 3, maybe top 2 in all-time scoring, but that's out of the window now. His career has really shortened because of that. So the clock is ticking on KD. We'll see how he is when he comes back.
what I would say to you is the reason why that's probably the case is only because KD's hurt. If KD were healthy, that would not be the case. Regardless of how spectacular Kyrie would be and what have you, Kevin Durant would be that dude. He would be that alpha dude. Because he's injured, Kyrie gets to start off the Brooklyn era without him and put on his own show, paving the way for KD to return. Kyrie is the guy that's going to have you fantasizing even more about KD's return, because what Kyrie's going to do, you're going to sit up there looking at it going like this, damn, we can't wait till KD comes up in the house. That's what it is.
God Sham got him. So God Sham God handles translated to maybe an MVP level player on a championship
and before
team.
God Sham God, you had Kenny Anderson. Before Kenny Anderson, you had Dwayne Pearl Washington, who, by the way, in Syracuse, God rest his soul. Dwayne Pearl Washington. Listen, Michael Jordan and these boys were in college. I'm telling you right now, in 2019, in all my years, Dwayne Pearl Washington is the greatest collegiate show ever in the history of college basketball.
How about Earl the Pearl Monroe? When the Pearl got to the Garden.
And even he was not Dwayne Pearl Washington.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube.
And thank you so much for being so beautiful. Too bad you married Jalen Rose. But anyway, thanks for all of you of watching. I think Kyrie's going to put on the show this season. I think this season we're really going to see how good Kyrie Irving is. It's the first season that he's not playing beside a ball-dominant small forward, and he's not playing under a coach that runs a system. He's really, if he would have went here when he requested the trade from Cleveland, his career stats would have been looking way better, because I see Kyrie averaging 30 a game this year. I mean, seriously. But we'll see. I think that Kyrie he's very smart. And I don't know why he didn't go to the Knicks. I guess he doesn't like Knicks fans, or he thinks Knicks, I guess DeAndre Jordan told them something about Knicks that they don't like, but very good decision. Obviously, D-Lo is on the Warriors, so we'll see how that turns out. Very interesting NBA season coming up. But we'll see how it goes. See y'all later, though.